Let's talk about family cases next. This is a sensitive topic for a lot of people. Certainly, I know my family has been through a lot when it comes to child custody, dissolution of marriage, all of those issues. When it comes to those cases, it's very difficult for us because the law is very clear. And the law says that the vast majority of divorce cases and the vast majority of child custody disputes are public record. The vast majority of those cases are revealable, accessible to the general public. And remember, like I said in the beginning of this presentation, we are bound by the rules that are set by the Florida Supreme Court. So this is not a decision that we have made in Orange County. This is a decision that has been imposed on us from the outside and imposed on all of the clerks. So we are required to reveal that information to the public. However, we have taken steps to limit the online access to that type of private information. When it comes to family cases, like divorce cases and like child custody cases, we've split the baby effectively by saying that you can enter in a party's name online through our website. In other words, you can enter in, John Smith to see if John Smith has been involved in a divorce case. If, in fact, John Smith has been involved in a divorce in Orange County, it will come up, and you will see that John Smith has a divorce case. It will show you, in fact, when John Smith filed that petition for divorce or when John Smith's spouse filed that petition for divorce. You will also see something called a progress docket, which is an event log. It's kind of like an Excel spreadsheet, if you've ever seen one of those. It's a one-line entry that will show each and every piece of activity in the case. So, for example, in a divorce case, it might show that the petition for divorce was filed on March 1st. It might show that John Smith's financial affidavit was filed on March 4th. It would show that the case was referred to mediation on March 7th, that sort of thing. What you will not be able to see online is the actual content of the image itself. So, in other words, you'll be able to see that John Smith filed a financial affidavit on March 4th, but you will not be able to see the financial affidavit itself. Does that make sense? You can see the fact that he filed one on March 4th. That's viewable online, but you cannot dig into the financial affidavit itself to see what's actually in there. That information we do not put online. It is public record. So if someone does come to the courthouse and they say, I insist on seeing John Smith's financial affidavit, we are going to have to provide it, minus any redactions for things like bank account numbers, social security numbers. There are some things that we're able to black out for confidentiality. But as a broad proposition, I do want everyone to understand that divorce cases and child custody cases are public record in the state of Florida. Something else, and of course I'm a lawyer, so I have to give lots of disclaimers in everything I say, right? So the disclaimer slide, which is the one that you see behind me, is the one that says, okay, I know I just told you that most divorce cases are public record and most family cases are public record, but I lied because there actually are exceptions to that. And you can see the exceptions are on the board behind me. Things like adoption cases are considered confidential. You can see that juvenile delinquency cases are confidential. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Certain types of paternity cases also are confidential. These are not your typical cases, but I do want to make sure I point them out because I don't want to mislead everyone into thinking that everything in family law is public record, because it's really not.